As always, guys, I want to thank you for covering our team, especially here on a holiday weekend. But, there's a lot of guys downstairs that are hurting. We ran out of gas. I thought we could maybe squeeze one more before the break, but we had too many guys. Some guys just couldn't play. And then we had a lot of guys that were playing that, maybe they were 70%, but they were gutting it out. And some of them couldn't continue, some of them could. But at the end of the day, that's part of our development, to build the depth. I keep talking about the pipeline, and to build the depth that when you lose people, you can still operate at or close to the same level. And we just, as the season wore on and some of the opponents we were facing every week, it took its toll on us. We got a little unlucky in some of the situations. But, you never know what you're lucky in either, do you? You just know what happens to you. So we need to heal. But very disappointed about today, but very encouraged about our team. I sat Friday in the afternoon by myself and just a couple games are on and stuff and working on my own stuff, and really grateful that we get the opportunity to continue to play for another month. There's a lot of historic blue blood programs that are done this weekend. They're calling it quits. We get to develop, and it's huge. So I'm excited about that. I was really happy for Kyle Monungai to go over 1,000 yards, and I guess he ended up being the Big Ten rushing leader in the regular season, which what a feat that is for him. There were some guys who stepped up. The guys, I think DJ stepped in there, and I don't know without watching the tape, but he sure flashed a little bit. But what comes last is consistency, right? When you build depth, consistency is what comes last. And we just couldn't quite get it done today. And it's on me. It is totally on me as the head coach. I have to build maybe differently. I have to make sure that we don't. But, I thought that we did as much as we could to protect the team and their health and all those things. I'll re-examine everything. But it just felt like we were a little bit with one hand behind our back. But that's the way it goes. And we will get ready. We'll heal. We'll practice. We'll develop our young guys. We'll get our older guys that are bumped up, get them healed, and then get them into their practice. And we'll get ready for a great bowl opponent, whoever that is, and a great opportunity for our guys to go to a bowl game for the first time as a bowl-eligible team and not a substitute. And this has got to become what we do at Rutgers and just keep going up that ladder. So let's get into the game. I'll answer any questions I can, but we got a lot to be grateful for.
You always talk about the importance of having grown men in your program. Can you just talk about this bunch and the last home game with these guys?
That's what's sad for me. I really wanted them to be able to sing with their teammates on the field and as winners in their last home game. We had a pretty good home season. It's fun to win at home, right? Fans love it, and we had a great turnout today for a holiday weekend. I thought the student section was outstanding for a break. The kids aren't even in school, but that's what hurts the most is those seniors don't get to have that memory of their last win being their last game in SHI Stadium. But as I just got done sharing with them, in life, right, when you have unfulfilled expectations, it's frustrating. And it can do one of two things. It can either make you get frustrated and do something that you wouldn't do normally, or it can drive you to focus even harder. And I'm confident that that's what it'll do with our team and our staff and myself, is it'll drive us to focus even more acutely.
What did you think of how Gavin played today and this whole season? Have you seen enough growth and improvement from him that you feel confident that he is the guy next year moving forward, the solution at the position?
We still have this year. We still have a game. As I told them, we will play another game in 23, and I can't wait. All that stuff happens at the end of the season. All those considerations, all those thoughts, all that. What I think is he's truly developing in a very big way. He is the quarterback of a team that's going to a bowl game. And as I said, you just go down the list of the guys that aren't, and he's the quarterback of that team. 18 touchdowns himself this year, either throwing or running. I mean, yeah, he's not He's not ready yet. Consistency comes last. But he's done some really good stuff. Today wasn't his best day, but, I could say that for a lot of guys. One guy does not a team make. It's everybody playing together, everybody executing together, and we need to continue to improve. Yep.
What was Maryland able to do on their first few possessions to kind of get the defense in some tough spots and kind of find some holes there?
Yeah, I thought that, it was more some individual, we got beat. Now, is it us not having people in the right position? I got to look. I hope that's not it. It just looked that we were a step behind, a step slow, and we haven't looked that way. We definitely lightened up the last 2 weeks to try to get them to the finish line, but maybe I didn't do it enough. That's why I say it's on me. I told them I got to figure out a way to make sure that we continue to move forward, and we didn't do that today. We struggled today.
Greg, do you feel like the style of offense lends itself to you guys running out of gas when you reach this point in the season?
It's an interesting question. I don't think so. But the fact that you asked it, I probably need to think through that a little bit. I don't. I think it's a style that you build your program to, and I think it's a style that's very, very flexible. When we develop and when we grow up at certain positions, I think things are going to change a little bit. To win 6 games this year and to be bowl eligible, this is the way that I thought we could do it. And I think our staff, Coach Shiraki and Coach Harasimiak, we work at that together. I failed to do this, and I never do, and I'm ashamed that I did it. Let's talk about the team that won the game, because they certainly deserve our respect. I mean, number 3, I guess he's the all-time passer in the Big Ten after today, so he's done this to more than just us. He's a really good player. They played well, and my hat's off to them. I should have said that at the beginning.
Greg, obviously a lot's going to happen before you guys get in the field again, with the portal opening, recruiting, all that stuff happening. Just curious if this loss on top of the 3 before make it any harder to navigate those choppy waters at the end of the year.
You never know, Steve. I mean, you're dealing with individuals, so it's all what those individuals think. I can't get inside their head. I know what I know. I know where we're headed. I know where this program's headed, and I think no one can explain it better than I can, because I live it every waking moment, and I'm confident that what we'll do in recruiting, we got a great recruiting class right now that I love, and again, it's ranked well, but that's not why I love it. I love it because the kids, the guys that we have, we will go into the portal and we will try to secure some more guys, and that you know it, I know it, NIL's part of that, right? If we don't have the firepower to do that, it'll be harder. So I'm working on that constantly. Yeah, there's a lot that'll go on this month. There's a lot that'll go on. I got to get to bed tonight because I got a day tomorrow of planning out the next month. Rather than do it this week, because I was tempted, I wanted to put every ounce of my energy into Maryland. I know it might not have shown, but that's what I did. And we just wasn't quite good enough. But now tomorrow, I'll get up early, and we got a lot of planning to do, both recruiting, visiting, our own players, guys that are considered in the National Football League, portal, and then a bowl schedule once we know who and when we're playing. We know the range of dates, so that's all I will go by, is set up a few different schedules depending.
Greg, what is it about Maryland that makes it such a difficult matchup for Rutgers?
Yeah, I thought about that at one point in the fourth quarter, when probably right when they scored the last touchdown. I say, you know what? We just didn't match up today. I don't know if it's maybe because we play them last. And maybe, I don't know, I don't want to spend too much time thinking about it on the field. But when you're there and it's the last 3 minutes and the game is out of reach, a lot of things go through your head. We've been beat up at the end of all the seasons, but every team is to a degree. I guess they did a little better job of keeping healthy because they had more of their original starters out there playing. We need to develop guys, and we need to keep our guys a little more healthy. So I got to figure that out. But I think more good players that are developed, not young, more good players that are developed in the pipeline, that lends to being a better team at the end of the season. So we'll get there. But yeah, maybe it's the end. I don't know. I think number 3 has something to do with it too, right?
Coach, although, today didn't go your way, just positively, what can you say about this defense? They came out, give up 4 in the first quarter, but ultimately they end up only giving 2 for the rest of the game. What can you say about them?
Yeah, the defense, it was a little kind of like chipping away. Like we lose Reem, who is just an absolute one of our best players on the team, Tyreen Powell. And then we have some guys that are out there playing like, seniors. Mayan Hanatu wanting to play his last game, really hurting. Deion Jennings, what he did today, and I don't know how long he went because I lost track, but the fact that that kid even played today, so much respect. He is a legitimate tough guy. He wanted to play his final game in SHI Stadium. Now we got to get those guys well for the bowl game, That's what we got to do. We got to figure out a way to get them well.
I know you spoke about the impact of Kyle Monungai in this game, getting 1,000 yards, but what does he mean big picture for this team and looking to the bowl game, but also looking ahead just in terms of being one of those building block players?
Well, I just think Kyle's, I've said it before, he had a great season. What do you have today? You had over 100 today, right? Had a great season, had a really solid game today. And when you have one of your hardest workers is one of your most productive players, it's great as a head coach because you can point to that, and he is a leader on the team and he's fully invested in everything we're doing. It's huge for the program's development. Yes, the production is huge, but internally, the building of the culture and the continual development of the culture, guys like he and a bunch of others are what allow us to do that. So, yeah, he's a critical piece.
We'll go Tom and then Bobby to finish.
Okay.
Greg, I know you talked about being disappointed and the lack of depth and running out of gas. But at the beginning of the year, you talked about you've got a full class in. Are you where you want to be, or is that something that's still down the road?
What do you mean? I'm not sure I understand a full class in.
Well, a full recruiting class, like 4 years worth?
Yeah, I don't consider that we have that. I think this 24 class that's going to come will be the last class in the cycle, and then we start pushing them out the other end. When you get hired, you get 11 days to recruit a class, and we had COVID. There's a lot of extenuating circumstances, but even without those extenuating circumstances, I think this 24 class, like I said, who I really am excited to coach, they'll finish out and fill the pipeline, and then we got to grow. We got to develop them.
Are you where you want to be, though?
Well, you're never where you want to be as a coach, right? You can always recruit a little better. You can always coach a little better. You can develop a little better. But I keep going back to what I just said. It wasn't one of those moments where I was giving it, certainly not doing that. But I said, look at some of these programs that are not playing after tomorrow or after yesterday. And we are playing. And I'm excited about that. I am. We have a great chance to continue to develop. So if I used the words I used downstairs about today, you wouldn't be able to write it. I feel that angry about today because I wanted so badly for those kids to go out. But when I look at it moving forward, I can't wait. I can't wait to wake up tomorrow and lay out the schedule and get ready to go attack this development. And the next time that we're after a game, hopefully we're celebrating a bowl win. That would make me really happy to send these seniors out as a bowl champion. That's the goal.
I know you ruled Johnny Langan out for the season. Can you just talk about losing him, what he's meant to the program, and how tough that might have been?
Yeah, Johnny is a warrior. What he did the last 2 weeks, I don't know many people that would do that, especially guys with NFL aspirations. Right? This guy's a legitimate NFL prospect. He loves Rutgers so much that he waited to get the cert. He was going to wait till the end of the year, and then he injured something else last week, so now he has to do it. But I got so much respect for that kid. And when we started here, he was a quarterback. And when he didn't win the battle and we moved him to tight end, he said, Coach, I'll do whatever I can to help this team win. And boy, did he do that. He was the PP on punt. He did so many things for us. And today, I told him, I said, I know how hard this is for you because you're a football player, not a football watcher. But you can help this team. And he did. He coached and he fought and he did everything he could. So, yeah, it's hard. It's hard for him, right? But he'll get the surgery and he'll start mending, and hopefully he can have a great NFL career. There was really something that I wanted to mention, and it's sad, really sad. But St. Joe's in Montville is part of the New Jersey football community, and they had such a tragedy. And our program, our hearts and our prayers are out to Rocco Rodden's family, but also to the St. Joe's program and all those kids. We had a bunch of St. Joe's kids here today and coaches, and it's just a tragedy to lose a young guy like that. But like I said, our hearts and prayers are out to them. And sometimes for someone like me, it puts it all in perspective. And doesn't mean we're not going to keep fighting, but I wanted to share that and send my condolences out from our entire program. It's so pointless, so useless. The value of life, for that to happen is sad. But again, guys, I appreciate it. We'll meet again after the bowl game, right? But I really do appreciate the way you cover our team, and it helps. It helps us in our development, the kind of attention that you give us. So thank you.